Hey guys, Blake here with Rack Attack, your #1 spot for all things rack related. Now today we're going to be taking a look at something brand new on the market, the Thule Force 3 rooftop cargo boxes. Now a few of the things we're going to be going over today is some of the features and benefits out of the Thule Force 3, as well as comparing it to its predecessor, the Thule Force XT. Now, while we're doing that, we're going to do a little bit of exploring today in beautiful, sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Now, right now, we're over here in Paradise Valley, Arizona. As you can see, the view behind me is beautiful. It's a wonderful day out today. So while we're going to be digging deep into this cargo box, we're going to do a little bit of exploring because that's what it's all about, right? Getting outdoors. So some of the spots we're going to go to today, I've never actually even been to, and I've lived here my whole life. So let's take a deep dive into the Thule Force 3 and do a little bit of exploring while we're out. Let's check it out. Now the first stop on our list today is beautiful Papago Park. Now Papago Park started off as part of the Pima and Maricopa Indian Reservation, later on getting turned into a national monument. So it's a pretty big recreation area for a lot of the people around here, which is a perfect reason to bring up the Force 3. Now the Force 3 does come in with its signature aero skin finish to it, which a lot of people like to attribute to like a carbon fiber feel. Now, a big thing that Thule did upgrade with the Force 3 versus the older series of Forces, which is the Force XTs, is the locking mechanism. The locking mechanism for the Force XTs was more of one where you had to actually physically turn the locking mechanism to open the box. Now, with the Motion series of boxes, it ended up being something where we just squeezed the locking mechanism and the box popped open. A really nice feature of that locking mechanism is that it actually has a red indicator label telling you that the box is actually open. It's a massive safety feature for when you end up packing up your box and you got 5 kids around you, you're trying to get on the road, you're in a hurry, and you might end up making the mistake to forget to close your box. Just having that nice little peace of mind is always something nice to have in your back pocket when you're trying to make sure that you get from A to B totally safe. So the Force 3, that is one massive, massive upgrade that they did for this, not including the really cool new shape. Now the next spot on our list today is the iconic Tempe Town Lake. Now Tempe Town Lake was actually started construction in 1996. It was filled up in 1999. And to this day, the Tempe Town Lake actually brings in right around 2.4 million visitors per year. So it is a really big staple when it comes to the town of Tempe. And as you can tell with the iconic bridges that go right into Mill Avenue, it is a really, really cool scenic spot here in Tempe. Now, speaking of scenic views, you end up also having the Force 3. Now the Force 3 also does feature, it's going to be opening on both sides, which is pretty standard when it comes to a lot of your rooftop boxes nowadays, as well as it is going to feature Thule's iconic power click system. What that means is that on the inside of the box, you're going to have 4 different knobs that are going to actually fixate to the box, so you can actually drop it through the bottom of the box and tighten it to your crossbars. In this particular case, I do have the Thule wing bars here, but that doesn't necessarily mean if you have a Thule box, you cannot actually put it only on Thule bars. You can put it on a bunch of different styles of bars. The purpose of the boxes are that they're supposed to be as easy and as versatile to use as humanly possible. So the fact that you can actually put it on a variety of bars, not just bars made by Thule, actually opens up the versatility of your box, which means you get a better bang for your buck. Now, it is always super nice when you have a product in general, not just any rooftop product, that doesn't make you feel like you have to have a 40-page manual to be able to use it. These boxes are extremely simple to use. Literally put it on your roof, open the box, fixate the 4 points of contact that are going to fixate it to your bars on the vehicle, and you're ready to roll. The best part about the power click system is that they are torque limited. So as you're tightening them in, it will actually give you a loud audible click, so you will never actually over tighten it and break it. which in the past, maybe some older styles of cargo boxes, you actually had to use a wrench and nuts and bolts and stuff like that to fixate it to your bars. Nowadays, with a lot of these boxes, it makes your life a lot easier. That is the goal. All right, guys, now the next stop on our list today is the famous Fountain Hills Park out here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. You can see behind me, it just started off, which this guy actually goes off every hour for 15 minutes, pumping right around 7,000 gallons per minute. This fountain was built in 1970, and it does operate on 3 600 horsepower pumps. Now, typically, it sits right around that 300 feet in height, but when all 3 pumps are working at the same time, this guy can actually reach up to 560 feet in the air. Now, the cool thing is that this guy is the largest fountain in the United States, and also is the 3rd largest fountain in the entire world, right in our backyard. Now, speaking of things that are way up top, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Force 3. Now, on the way here, the Force 3 was actually super quiet. There really isn't any road noise that you get from this box. It also does have a bunch of really good features, including how much you can actually store in it. This guy actually does come in 5 different sizes. We end up having the L Sport, which is 11 cubic feet. Then it goes up to the M, which ends up being 14 cubic feet. Then we move up to the L, which is what I got here on the truck now. This guy comes in at 16 cubic feet. Moving up one more, then we have the XL, which is 18 cubic feet. And then if you want to pack everything, including the kitchen sink, then you go to the big boy, the XXL. That guy comes in at 21 cubic feet. So the fact that you have all these different options to be able to tailor your cargo setup for your vehicle and your needs is really nice. And also this guy has all those really nice features packed into one package, and it's also super affordable. That you don't have to break the bank to be able to get a cargo box that really works for you. Now, speaking about how much cargo you can actually fit into this box brings us to our next point. Now, we're going to take a look at the amount of cargo we can actually fit into this guy. So, using our little key here. Now, this box does feature a dual opening lid, as you probably can tell. Now, with the upgraded locking mechanism, this guy is also going to be super easy to use. And that brings us to some of these accessories that you can get for these boxes. One big one is the Thule Go Packs. These are a set of 4 75-liter duffel bags that are actually designed to work well with your cargo box, but you can put these pretty much anywhere, in the trunk of your car, in the back seat. They're designed to make your life a little bit easier. Now, the days of whose bag is whose, that's over, because all these are going to be color coded, so everybody knows which bag is going to actually be theirs. Then on top of that, the other cool part is that these bags, you can actually wear them like a backpack. So instead of having to carry that thing along with the baby carrier and maybe some other stuff you got with you, you strap these guys to your back and you're good to go. So, along with the 4-pack of the duffel bags, Thule pretty much thinks of everything. Now that's going to conclude our review of the Force 3 by Thule. Now, just to recap, this does have a bunch of new features that you're going to find into this box, most notably the upgraded locking mechanism. This is a fantastic upgrade that Thule brought to the Force series of boxes. So now you don't have to get the Motion line, you can also find this in the Force series. But it does remind me that days like this are what it's all about. Whether you're chasing the fountain out here at Fountain Hills, you're either hanging out at Papago Park, or you're paddling at Tempe Town Lake. It all is about getting outdoors and to be able to explore your own backyard. So if you end up wanting to get your hands on one of these or anything else that we offer, visit us at Rack Attack. With over 40 locations across North America, chances are we got one of those in your backyard too. And if you don't want to leave your house, no judgment here, nobody does, you can always stop by at rackattack.com and we can take care of you from there. Now, we'll see you out there.